Folks, we're gonna start when it's time to start. I don't know what time it is though, but Lord have mercy. Shouts out, welcome to what show it is Tek.na.le.gist Forum. Yes. You see me right. Starting cutting up already. Starting cutting up already. Listen, Tek.na.le.gist Forum, where creative minds get together and we talk about interesting technology as it relates to solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and digital creators. Today is already, listen, we're getting close to Turkey Day. Oh,
We are.
look at here.
Uh-oh.
You got beans, greens, tomatoes. Okay. See, if y'all don't know that, look it up. But that's gonna be all. That meme is gonna be all over my social feed in about the next 4 or 5 days. This is week 3. The gentleman to my right is not Stephanie Garcia. But but that you do know Mr. Greg Russell, ladies and gentlemen. He is stepping in this week to help myself and Ms. Florence Donald out as we talk this content and as we engage with you. Listen, I see Cast Ahead in the building talking that
Yes. Hey,
talk.
Chris Stone.
Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you for being here. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and get locked in. Let's get focused. I want Florence to kind of set the stage in terms of what we're going to get into, what we're going to talk about today, because then I want all three of us plus the community to engage and interact about solutions, strategies, best practices of how to get over any hurdles that we may be having. Does that make sense?
Yes,
We
sir.
good.
Let's do it. Ms. Donna,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead and tell the folks what we here for today.
So we're here talking about, I'm going to give you a short answer. We're here talking about content calendars, specifically as a new creator, learning all the new skills, and then still having to struggle and find a calendar system and a workflow that works. So, spoiler alert, I've been struggling for 3 years. It's been a point of friction. Friction is gone. Found a solution.
Awesome. Your audio is out. I'm not hearing it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd say before we put the cart before the horse, or is it whatever the analogy is? What were the issues that you were having before you reached the aha moment?
So, what led to it was number one, being brand new to content creation
Mm,
and having to even understand what this was about. That's number one, and really understanding what was unique about me and what I needed and wanted to track and manage. That was the beginning part. There are lots of, the 1001 YouTube tutorials that tells you make a content calendar, and they give you all this tech and all these systems and all these layouts and all the.
yeah.
But what they don't do is walk you through really understanding what this thing is and how it can benefit you. So for me, I was following all of the things, but none of it was making sense. And it wasn't sticking and it wasn't being beneficial to me in my day, in my business, in my results, in any way, shape, or form. And that was the basic problem. I was doing a lot of stuff, but I wasn't getting results. And so it took me a while.
Hmm. Okay, I'm ready to dive in. I'm ready, and I'm not going to tear it apart. But I love the fact that one, the transparency, right, of seeing and
Mhm.
knowing before you go too far to pivot, to change, to try something new. Um, Greg, your thoughts on that, because you've been around these streets for a long time, either just doing it for yourself or doing it for clients and having at a entrepreneurship level. Talk to us a little bit about your thoughts and when Florence is bringing up this use case.
Yes, sir. I think it's about understanding why you're doing it in the first place. Like why, having a content calendar and, we've been told that we need to create content, but I think a lot of times in hearing certain things in this age of micro information and getting information in little snippets, we miss some of the reasons why we're doing it. And so it's like, having a calendar or a strategy is good, but it's only going to be beneficial if you know why you're doing it and what you want out of it. And I think a lot of people are hearing they need to create content, but they don't know the reasons why they need to be doing it or what they're looking for from it other than just creating the content.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, so
and Aneo, we
mine was a
see.
little
Oh, go ahead.
I knew why I was creating content. I knew what I wanted to get from the content. That wasn't my issue. My issue was the mechanism and why I would use a particular mechanism and what that mechanism would give me, what it would afford me to be able to do. And that was where my struggle was. I knew what the message was. I knew who the message was intended to reach. I knew why I was doing everything I was doing in terms of creating the content itself, whether in whatever platform that was. It
So,
was the implementing this mechanism that didn't land with my brain. It didn't make sense to me, and I didn't have that end. You know, the old
yeah.
Stephen Covey start with the end in mind. So
Yeah.
with this particular workflow, the end was unclear to me, and coming new into content creation, the level of explanation that I personally needed, like I said, 1,001 YouTube tutorials later and lots of conversations with people didn't get across the finish line. I'm now across that finish line.
So what was that medium? What was that means? What was let's talk about, some of those smaller steps to get to where you are today. What were the tools and what were those obstacles in the way? And then what was, if you don't mind, because I want to build up the story. What was the breaking point? What was that point during your life, your day, your night that said, "Man, I can't be doing X, Y, and Z anymore, and I've got to go move somewhere else."
It was a couple of things. Number one, creating lots of content in many different avenues:
Hmm.
LinkedIn, email, blogs, newsletters, school, you name it, and even some offline content in meetings and conferences and speaking engagements and having to create all this stuff. And every piece of it had a purpose.
Mm,
What it there was nothing that was created unintentionally or published unintentionally. All of it was intentional. What wasn't clear was being able to very quickly see, almost in if you work in technology, in my case, working in technology, we're accustomed to having dashboards. So having a very clear dashboard that said you're spending this much, you're putting out this much in this place and not enough over here. The goals, these each piece is meant to to have a goal, and what is that goal? Are you on or are you off target?
mm,
And being able to see it very quickly and being able to maintain it very quickly regardless of where I was. I work in a multi-tech world. I bounce between the Windows world and the Mac world.
I'm sorry.
And I
Oh,
yeah, stop. And I need to be able to get to certain content or data regardless of where I'm at, regardless of what device I am on. And there are some constraints that I deal with that I needed to deal with. I needed to solve. So a lot of the solutions that were offered, just it's not that they wouldn't work for me because of the details. This is where I get into, James. You know, I say productivity is personal. It's not just a word. It's very unique to every
mm,
person's circumstances and situation, and the real things that they have to consider. And that was important for me to take all of those items into consideration and finding the solution that would work without it turning into a 20-hour a week task.
right. It's like a shiny object syndrome, right? Every week we're hit with something, and brand new
Mhm.
tool, brand new platform, brand new piece of hardware. You got to get that new camera, you got to get that new microphone, you got to get that new whatever. This is the software that's going to solve all your problems, right? Here's a lifetime deal off of a SaaS platform, off of a SaaS. I'm not going to just blow people up. I'm not going to say no names, but again,
Be
th-
good.
but those are the things that pull us, and at points in time, and correct me if I'm wrong, or if I'm just going down the wrong path. And at points in times, those may make sense, and those may be an answer for a short period of time. But if you don't sit with yourself and figure out exactly who it is you're trying to serve, what is it you're trying to do, who your actual community is, what that community avatar is. We've heard that statement before, as opposed to
Mhm.
doing what the next person is. Instead of Florence trying to do what James or what Greg is doing, I love the fact that you stumbled and were able to get up and decided to go your own way, as opposed to trying to do the thing that the so-called quote unquote experts decided or said that you should do. Right. You're staying locked in your
Mhm.
lane because you know the content, and you know that you can bring value to that content that you're talking about.
Mhm.
Certain delivery mechanisms may work and may not work for you just because they work for somebody else. And I mean, it's a
And
huge
that's true
maturation
in
thing.
everything.
Yeah, right. It's a huge
Mhm.
maturation piece to actually be able to say, man, this ain't working for me. I got to go someplace else, and I got to figure something out for myself. It's almost here like what Mr. Stone is saying, right? He realized when his content calendar was empty because he didn't have the content. It takes efficiency in the creation so you can plan the delivery. We all still have miles to go, but we're all running that marathon ourselves. So I love that piece.
Mhm.
That, and thank you again for that transparency. I was pulling it out because I wanted to hear the why, and now we can get to the how. Greg, come on, man, fill in,
Well,
brother. I'm over here setting them up. Greg,
well,
it's
listen,
all you
man.
now. God, your
I
boy
really
dropping
like the
gems.
fact that she said it was personal because
Mm-hmm.
I can relate to that because there was and I'll just say that, like, I really wanted to use Asana as a
Hmm.
project management years ago, and I loved all the stuff about Asana, and I would start using it and then I would stop using it and I would start using it and I would stop using it and I'd start it in. I just had to realize, you know what? It just doesn't work for me. Like, I love all the things about it. Everybody was saying all this good stuff about it. And this was way before Monday.com and ClickUp. Like, this was just years ago. And it was like, as much as I liked Asana and I would tell people about it, it just didn't work for me. And sometimes you just have to come to that conclusion, like, look, this is not working for me. I'm not resonating with it for whatever reason, and you have to find the tools and the systems that actually work for you.
All right, you dropping names.
Yes,
Okay, we'll go ahead and drop
absolutely.
names now. You dropping names. This boy said it. He said the
So
ClickUps of the world and the Asanas. Okay, go
right.
ahead.
So for this one workflow, because this isn't every workflow.
Mm,
This is a very specific workflow. And that's the thing that I drilled in. What is the problem you're solving? What workflow are you solving for? Because a different workflow would require different tools,
mm-hmm,
right? I am not tracking uh, writing or outlining or researching content in this thing. That's not the purpose for me. I have a system for that. I have a workflow for that works beautifully. That wasn't what I was solving. It was knowing what I wanted to put out, what day it was going to go out, what state it was in, what its goal was, so I could stack my goals and see
hmm,
how they were landing, what platforms I was putting them on, whether I was how far ahead could I be, right? So I don't do well with last minute at all.
mm-hmm.
And so I know that about myself. So I was like, okay, what can I use? And I tried, I not tried, I used a Google Calendar that didn't work because it didn't allow me to get the dashboard. I used spreadsheets and I'm pretty good with spreadsheets. The challenge was I couldn't get to them everywhere and on
Mm,
every device I was in. Even if I could build the scripts, which I could do, that was the barrier for me. And I built a whole system in Notion and tore it apart because I didn't want to use the whole open up a page. I didn't want a page. I didn't need any of that.
yeah.
So I was like, what is it I need for me? And I've found the answer.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. We gonna get to that because I think
Hmm.
we about to drop some gems on folks. Listen, we streaming all over the place. We on Substack. We own the YouTubes.
Oh boy.
Obviously,
On the
we
YouTubes.
we own the YouTubes, ladies and gentlemen. We may be on the Facebook too. I'm not sure, but these fine co-hosts have paired their channels, so I see folks jumping in from a lot of locations. LinkedIn, I think I gotta let me sit up straight. We on LinkedIn. Lord have mercy. Every time you put us on LinkedIn, I get nervous because sometimes I may say something, and I can't. Again, we can't let the 5 to 9 mess up the 9 to 5. Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. Uh, Folks, if you got questions, put them in the comment. Put a Q in front of it so we can address that. So, what are you using? What was the aha moment, and what is the platform of choice today? And do you think it's short, midterm, or do you think it's actually a long term platform? I know I'm asking you a whole bunch, but I think this is going to be a good succession
I,
of
I,
comments.
I can handle it. So first, what is my workflow? Let's take it, and I'm not just going to go into the tool because that's where we fall short. I
Yeah,
believe when we communicate with people, we talk about tools and we don't talk about what the actual workflow itself is. We say what we're using. We don't say why we're using it and when we use it.
yeah.
That's what people need to know: the why and the when. The how will come along, but those first two. So the start of my process is capturing all of the different places and reasons and types of content I'm going to put out in a given period of time, whether it's a month, a week, three
Okay.
days, whatever that period is. I get an idea, I want to capture it, I want to do some very quick note taking. For me personally, do that in two places, and really it's starting to be one. And I do it on any Mac device I have, whether it's a computer, whether it's a iPad, whether it's a watch or whatever. And I use an application called Drafts. Why? I can speak to it, I can type, and I can send that data off in a bunch of different directions. So I capture the idea. It may be write a YouTube post. I'll give you an example. Write a YouTube post to remind my community that I'm going to be on Tek.na.le.gist Forum tonight and what I'm going to be talking about, what we're going to be talking about. I captured that idea a while back in Drafts. That becomes the idea. With Drafts, I can shoot it across to where am I going to write the post? Don't have to write it in Drafts, just shoot it into Evernote, which is the tool that I use. It goes into a notebook. Don't have to retype anything.
Hmm.
That's step one. And a lot of people talk about capturing, but they try to capture and build in the same place. That doesn't work for me. I just need to capture the idea. The second step then is I've got the idea. Where I'm going to build or write and develop the idea is in one system, Evernote. Don't have to think about that. The other piece was where am I going to ship it to or publish it? I call it shipping. Tech head over here. And when do I want to ship it? This is the new tool that I stumbled on that I've now implemented. I
I
was
need a
doing
I need a
something else
drum
in
roll. Is what I need is
I
drum
was
roll.
doing something I was doing something else in Zoom. And for those who may not have heard, Zoom put a new tool in. They're dropping all kind, and they put in something called Zoom Docs. They're kind of trying to become an all-in-one, like a ClickUp, like a Notion, like a whoever. But in Zoom Docs, there's a basically a table that is basically a content calendar, but it doesn't have all of the extra stuff that I didn't want. It had just what I wanted. And I could build dashboards right in it. And I could get access to that document regardless of which device I'm on. And it's fast, it's familiar, it's easy. And
Mm.
if I have team members who I say I need them to go in and update it, they already know how to use Zoom.
Oh,
I don't have to
collaboration.
teach them. I don't have to teach them ClickUp. I don't have to teach them Notion. I don't have to teach them Monday.com. I don't have to teach them any of that. just share the document and say, enter this on, November 21st.
This old
So it
school
makes it
Zoom.
easy. It makes it easy for team members who aren't tech savvy and who don't want to be. It makes it easy for me because I can shoot data in there quickly. I can also get it out quickly because it exports as a CSV and I can take it and put
Okay.
it anywhere else I want it. And I can get to it everywhere. Every device I will be on. If you can get into Zoom, you can get to your calendar.
So I saw the announcement when Docs came out, but I never paid attention to it.
I didn't either. I was like, who's going to
Right.
use that?
Well, right. I
Me
mean,
free.
because it's slightly outside of their wheelhouse, right? It's not what
Mm.
you would expect from Zoom. So you're saying this has replaced a traditional, maybe not a full-fledged CRM, but this has replaced your note-taking apps that you may have a
Mm-mm.
thousand of those.
Nope. I'm still
Okay.
using Evernote for my note taking. I still use drafts for my quick capture. I could, if I wanted to make the transition. I have on occasion used it and then I ship that over. I use some automations to ship the data over to Evernote, which is still my hub.
Hmm.
Um, but this one particular feature of finding this table, which is a content calendar, it's a calendar, and I can look at different views. If you can imagine, think the different views you build in Notion, timeline, gallery, um, calendar, just a straight list. All
Hmm.
of that is available to me, but I don't have to open up a whole page. It's just opening up a record like a row in a spreadsheet, and that's what I got. And I can manipulate, I can put the content in Kanban view, I can put it in calendar view, I can put it in gallery view, I can put it in timeline view. All of those
Wait a
are
minute.
right there. Yeah.
Google Docs has Kanban. I'm hooked on Kanban. Hold on, is that right? Listen, you stop the train for a minute. Is that right?
So that was it, and I didn't, again, it came back to, for me, does it give me what I want? I can do reporting. I built a new dashboard in it today to show me how much content I had created by where I was putting it. So I could see the outliers. Am I creating too much content in this platform and not enough in this platform? Because it can be easy to get lost in that, right? And I can look and see, if do I am I really going to actually be prepared to ship 10 pieces of content on a given day? That's a great idea until you realize you got to have 10 pieces of content ready to go. You can't be doing it the morning of. So I can see ahead and see, oh, that is not going to work. I'm not going to get 10 pieces of content ready to go. Let's shift this around.
Greg, this has got me having I'm over here deep in meditation because I'm hearing what Florence is saying. I'm looking at this here. My team uses Notion. Can we migrate to Zoom Docs? I mean, you are
Yeah.
a tech Jedi of a ton of tools as well. What are your thoughts when you see this? Have you considered or did you know about Zoom Docs having all this
So
capability and functionality?
I'm learning about this real
I see
time.
you over there taking notes. I
Yeah, I
saw
took
you.
notes. Like step one, this Mac Mac drafts. Right? I didn't even know that was an app. So I'm learning about this real time, and this is how I learn all the stuff is when
Yeah.
people, share what they're doing and what they're using. So and not, I mean, just like you, I remember they was trying to announce their new thing, and it was like, yeah, I'm not really concerned with your docs right now. I got other stuff for docs when Zoom came out with it. So yeah, I'm learning.
Mhm.
I'm checking this out full time, just like I mean real time, just like you are.
Yeah, and I've found a secondary use case for it. I have a meeting with an organization that I work with, and it's the same thing.
Hmm.
Because of where I'm at, I'm limited in terms of being able to get to some other documents. I literally started doing this just 2 weeks ago. When we meet now, it's not gonna live here, but it's a quick capture. Everybody can see it. We're in Zoom. I share the meeting agenda. I share the meeting notes. They can see what's going on. They can ask questions. They can do updates. And I can use the AI companion and grab the action items out and then throw them where they're gonna live. So it's not necessarily always your end point, but sometimes you need that interim to work
Okay,
through
I got you.
with. It could be the end point. It really can be the end point. For me, I'm not there yet to make it my end point. It is, however, except for my calendar, my content calendar, it absolutely that's where it lives. Was like, "Oh, I can move this works and it's quick, it's fast, I can see it, I can do my dashboards, and I'm done." Like, literally 2 minutes a day, I'm looking at my content calendar, and I am, 7 to 10 to 14 days ahead at this point.
So you can put templates into Zoom Docs as well, because that was going to be my next question,
Mhm,
right? Are you recreating
mhm,
the wheel each and every time? But literally right here it says create new docs
no.
faster with templates for each project.
No, the way I've done this is I've got whatever the title is, even if it's a working title, the pillar it goes to, the
Hmm.
platform it goes to, the goal of that piece of content, and the type of content it is.
Mm.
That's really what I needed. Now I did put in a link to the working document and a link to the final content. I'm still debating on whether I'm going to keep both of those in there or not, but it's easy to take them out. It's easy to put them in. So I can grab those and put them in or not. And that's really all I needed. And I can drag around like I'm spoiler for everyone who's in my community um at a certain level. I'm going to be doing a December gift of time challenge.
Mm-mm.
All of the entries for the entire month of December are done and in the calendar. Planned on what day which one is going to go out.
Man, see, this is
I
good, but this is bad because now, again, I'm like a squirrel over here. I'm looking deep into this. And David Hunt, I appreciate you putting some respect on my name. Come on, brother, spell my name right now. I appreciate you for being here. Appreciate you for that. But this looks very
Hey,
similar to what
David
we
Hunt.
keep in Notion for the Technologist Forum, right? The
Mhm.
documentation,
Mhm.
just being able to. I'm seeing these Kanbans and seeing these
Mhm.
statuses and updates,
Mhm.
things of that nature. Zoom
Mhm.
one, right? When the world shut down, Zoom won as opposed to all the other platforms out there. So, like you said, it's familiar to a lot of folks. So we got it on our mobile devices as well. Obviously, got it on our desktops and on our tablets and things of that nature. Uh, this is interesting. I'm actually going on a trip. I'm gonna be 35,000 foot in the air in about 15 hours. I'm gonna be looking at this while I'm flying because I got nothing else to do except eat peanuts and
I mean,
drink
if
ginger ale.
you have a Zoom account, you have it. It's not like you gotta go do something extra. You don't have to build it's literally a template that you modify. And it worked quickly. I'm that was important to me. I've done
Mm,
all the building, the build the database and all. I've done that. And I
yeah.
was like, that's not what I want. This is about me getting business done. It's not about me being playing with more shiny toys.
Even though you're getting all
I
them
play with
Black
shiny
Friday deal emails.
I play with shiny toys all day every day. That's not what I'm trying to do here. So, um David Hunt, cut it out. I see you.
Listen, he over there trying to get you right. Come on, y'all.
I see him.
Get on
He
over there to
over here
Florence's channel
promoting.
and get. Come on, we got of
Uh,
all the places that we live right now. I'll even say go over to Florence's channel, hit the
if you're
subscribe.
gonna watch the content. if you're gonna
Right.
watch the content.
That's true. Okay. I'm trying to, we're going to get them
Okay,
numbers. We're going to get them numbers right.
if you're gonna watch the content, that would be lovely. I would welcome you and be happy to have you. So this is what I've done, and my last piece is really it's capturing in drafts,
Hmm.
managing the content calendar in Zoom Docs, and then the third piece is I actually use two different tools primarily for content. When it's me just strictly writing and researching, I use Evernote.
Okay.
Been using it since 2008. I've got you don't even wanna know how many thousands of notes I've got in there, and some of the things they're doing. I do have a Notion account, but I don't use it that way. My brain is not yet wired to Notion. My brain is wired to Evernote. The other thing that I use, and I know, James, you've heard me we talk about this, is for repurposing audio, video, and sometimes even already written content. I use Alfana AI to
Yeah.
turn existing content into multiple others quickly based on my words, my content. Um, can I do the same thing with Gemini, with ChatGPT? Yes. The difference is, can I do it as efficiently? No. I just ran through something where it was 10 prompts to get to an output that I could get to with one in Alfana. So for me, my time is precious and I try to be mindful.
Yeah.
And I don't use every tool because every tool is not necessary. I use the ones that are going to give me what I want as efficiently as I can get them and without me having to spend tons of time fooling with it.
Okay. So I want out
Okay.
here. So Greg, here's where we're gonna go because I want you to chime in here as well because not because we dropping names. She dropping Zoom, you dropping
Oh,
Asana.
sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. And Brother Hunt, no, you do not have to pay for Zoom Docs if you already have a Zoom account. So
Right.
so that's one positive right there. Let's talk about Alfana real quick because
Mhm.
you were here and she in the building too. Y'all, shouts out. Come on, Tanya
Hey,
Smith is in the
Tanya,
building.
Tanya. Yeah.
She's the one that got me in touch with Sebastian over there. Me and Sebastian had some words for a minute, but we got
Oh,
things
you should
straightened
have just
out.
asked me. I could have put you in touch with
Oh,
Sebastian.
we had some
Either
words,
way.
but I had to tell
Mhm.
him some things, but
Mhm.
we're straight now. I think we partners now. But I have seen value, yes, in this tool, just again in terms of being able to create different formats, different platform specific content, and being able to train the platform to say, sound, look, and feel like you want it
Mhm.
to, right? As opposed to just something
Mhm.
generic that comes out of, yeah, we're going to drop it out of the chat
Exactly.
GPTs or out of the anything else. So that's a good one. And I will put all of the links to these platforms in the description. Greg, so now let's go back and forth between you and Florence. Again, we're talking about some different tools. I know you use a whole bunch of them as well. You detect Jedi, Alfana AI. Have you used this? What are your thoughts on the maturation that Florence has gone through of saying, this is what I need to do, right? As opposed to trying to follow the crowd. I'm using Google, not Google Docs. I'm using Zoom Docs to capture all of this information. And instead of trying to use all of the clipping tools, because there's a myriad of them out there, right? Using one that makes sense for her use case. What do you use? What's kind of your workflow? And I know I'm always asking the questions to folks. I'll tell you what my workflow is too. Y'all don't worry about that. But I want my co-host to shine. What is your workflow as we're talking about again Zoom Docs, Alfana AI for Florence? What do you use for these activities?
Well, listen, man. Just full transparency. I'm just hearing about Afana too,
Come on,
so
brother, catch up, man. God, Lord, man.
I'm catching up. Listen, you got to understand. There is so many tools. There is so many things out there. There is no way you can keep up with all the stuff that's coming out. So again, I'm enjoying learning about these tools and and the workflow that you have. So it makes me got a few things to research over the next couple of days. It gives me some ideas for some show topics of my own that we can talk about some of these things. And as far, as a content calendar, it depends on, your own personal preference of how and when you're putting out content. And the most important thing is sometimes you don't need a calendar. Sometimes some people don't need a calendar, right? Are you putting out content consistently? If your content is that you're going to put out a blog post and these things every week, then you do that every week. And it's not until you start to grow in that and you need to have more organizations do you need to have some of those tools. So again, it's just about where are you at, what are you putting out, and are you being consistent, and do you need the tools, right? Because sometimes there are these tools, and just because other people are using them and talking about them don't mean it fits your case. So you just got to make sure that the tools fit you and what you need to do. If you're just starting and you're just posting once a week or twice a week, you don't need a calendar for that. You just need to be consistent.
Letting it marinate. Just letting that marinate right there. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. When do you post, Florence? Right. So you do a live stream. You do a show every week as well. What's your mentality in terms of chopping that up and putting that out to either other social platforms, or what's your take on reels and shorts and things like that? What's kind of that methodology for you?
So I have not been consistent nor in love with reels and shorts, frankly.
Okay.
Um, and it was when I got introduced, after I spent multiple hours several times, I was like, I am not doing this. Back to my time thing. It may be a good thing, but Florence Donald, not doing that. I don't give a crap what it's for and who says it. Not doing it. So I just I put it aside for a
Yeah.
very long time. Um, I have an for example, I have an Instagram account. I don't think I've ever posted anything on there. I don't even like until recently don't even log into Instagram. I don't go on Facebook. I think it's a garbage dump. Sorry. Too much junk on there.
Mm.
I protect what comes to me. That ear gate, eye gate, all of that, I protect it fiercely. So the whole thing of people doom scrolling, that's not my life.
You don't know nothing about that,
So
huh?
yeah, I was like, okay, well, I don't know why y'all doing that, but okay, you do you. Um, I'm considering now what makes sense for me. Now, the interesting thing is, I have a client that I produce shorts for every week.
Mm.
And shout out to Chris Stone and James Hicks who got me straight using Descript. So for me, once I begin to produce shorts for myself, I'm 99.99999% sure it's going to be using Descript. I'm not adding another tool. And I've got others, but I'm not adding that additional workload for very little to no benefit to my system. Okay. Written
Protecting your
content,
sanity is what you're doing.
well, call it protecting my sanity or
Yeah.
whatever you. And written content, which I'm much more into written content than I am audio or anything else, just
Mm.
me personally, and not just post. I'm putting articles out and I'm setting that to be once every other week because there are some very specific topics and targets that because there are some very specific topics and targets that I've
A setup question. It the right way so I don't look like a fool. Why those different platforms for all of your content? You do an hour and a half on the purpose and productivity stream every week.
Mhm.
Why
Mhm.
LinkedIn? Why uh, X, Y, and Z? These other platforms that I'm not
LinkedIn
going to
is
answer for
because
you.
yeah, LinkedIn because it's where the people are that I will resonate with, in my opinion, the most. I have the most direct communication with people.
Hmm.
Nearly everyone I'm connected to are people I really truly know, W- and I've known for years, and we have relationship, and we speak each other's language. So that tells you my LinkedIn followers and direct connections are relatively small. It's about 990 people. My direct connections, again, they're people that I've known over the years, and we understand each other, and I can take what I do in one world and speak to productivity in a way that they get it and that
Yes.
they understand. That's primarily for me the reason. The blog is because I can just write and I'm not being filtered by anyone. I'm just putting out what I want to put out on my own land, on my website. I'm not thinking about an algorithm or anything. This is what I want you to know. I share it with my email list, and that's the way we handle that. YouTube, of course, I started live streaming before I really knew anything about YouTube. I started live streaming. I have been relatively consistent. I have some times of the year that I don't stream, and that's intentional. And then other things that I do, like the month of February is a special month for me. That's been pretty much since I started, and those I'm committed to, and I believe that I'm building the audience and the community there. And then the last one is school that I've really bought into because I wanted an online community and a place where people could come and have a safe place to learn and practice. And I could put content out and not be chasing. I'm not going to chase algorithms.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. Don't care. Not doing it.
Not your so it was a
I'm
setup
not.
question. It
And I
was a
know
setup
that.
question. Yeah, but you answered in the way in the first few words exactly how I knew you would answer. So, folks, listen to what Florence just said, and then Greg, I'm gonna let you chime in. She's putting content out on these various platforms. Why? Because it resonates with her community, not because it's just throwing spaghetti against the wall. Because it's someplace to do. She's not on TikTok and the Snapchats of the world and the IG lives and the Substack. I don't know what happened to Substack, but it just went down. So that's gonna be a problem. Well, we're gonna have a problem, Substack. I got a couple of other platforms I'm looking at. We don't mess up like that. Back to Florence, right? Where her people are is she's meeting them there, having that high level conversation on LinkedIn. It matters. So you're doing that. You own those other properties. They are Florence.Donald.live or FD. You change. You keep changing the URLs, but you own that real estate. Is what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. Help y'all pray for me now, right? So that matters. Again, you say what you want to say because you own it, and you know that the people are going to resonate when you come authentic. The fact that you built the community over on school, again, you own that real estate. You don't own the platform, but you own the direction of the conversation. Those
Hmm.
people have taken the time to sign up, say, I want to be part of this community and I want to engage and I want to learn. I want to be part of something bigger than me. So the high horse that I'm on is saying, again, don't try to follow everybody because you think that they're succeeding. Uh, everyone else is either 10 steps behind you or 5 steps in front of you. No one's in your particular race. If it makes sense for you to be on TikTok and Snapchat and Facebook and all these other platforms, that's fine if it resonates with your community, but don't don't change your authenticity because people can read between the lines. People know when you're not being real. People know me. I'm crazy. Listen, I just do what I do, and I'm just here facilitating. But again, if I showed up some other weird kind of way on some other different platform and it didn't show my true authentic self, people would be like, something not right. Right. So I appreciate you again for the transparency of saying I'm on these locations. Why? Because this is where my people are. This what resonates with me. I can write freely on the blog that I own, and one, you're still having fun doing it. There's burnout is one thing I don't understand what burnout means. I haven't seen that it's not in my dictionary because again, you control that 1440 of your own.
Hmm.
Greg Russell,
Yep.
talk to us, brother. Fill in, man. 'Cause I'm gonna go off camera and figure out what's going on with Substack because mhm.
Oh man,
They gonna learn today. They're gonna learn today.
there's just so much, and so I'm gonna say this. LinkedIn algorithm is changing too. So the what I'm
Hmm.
learning is that LinkedIn's algorithm, and I know you don't like algorithms, but they are now allowing, if you're posting content, it's going to usually show that content to the people who are most interested in it. Like YouTube will show you thumbnails of things that you are most likely to uh, be interested in. Like Netflix will show you the shows that you are most likely interested based on your past engagement on Netflix, based on your past engagement on YouTube. So now what that means is if you don't have a super large following, you can still get way more engagement now than you could in the past by posting content, because the algorithm will help you put stuff out there. And so I really like, what you said about doing it to your own drum, because as an entrepreneur, like, we always try to sell that entrepreneurship life is easy and laptop lifestyle. And those of us who've been in it a long time know that, even though we try to sell it, that's not the reality. You have to put in the work. And sometimes um, new people who see that laptop lifestyle don't realize the effort and the work that has to go in for you to be successful. And a lot of times, for those of us who've been around, 10, 20, 30 years, we know what's really going on behind the scenes. And so the same thing comes up with creating content. Like, why are you creating this content? What do you want from it? It has to be part of a bigger plan. And so I think that it's great that we're sharing some tools. And if you want a true content calendar, I'll share an old one that is still relevant, and that
Hmm.
is CoSchedule. It was one of the first ones that came out. It's coschedule.com, and it is a content calendar that allows you to put your stuff in there and have it go out when you want it to go out, and you can see it all on a calendar view.
And you dating yourself, brother. You mentioning all these BBS tools, all these old Netscape tools. All right, so the social media marketing calendar that does it all. Oh, no, see, there you go. Black Friday deal. Oh Lord.
There you
So
go.
what does this do? What's the value to something like this, and why would you bring something like this up again? Just want to put that
It
out there.
allows you to visually see when you want your post to go out on which network. So you can schedule it all and see it and know when it's going out. So if you like, you can also create drafts. So if you know, like, all right, on every other Tuesday I'm doing a blog, and you have, like, it's in draft. I need to create that thing. It, again, depending on who you are and how you work. Some people work better visually, and seeing it on the calendar works for them. And so it's one of the ones that's been around for a while. CoSchedule. So it's a calendar that allows you to visually see when and where your posts are going out, on which networks, on which days, at which times.
Is there a oh yeah, Jay Bauer, know him. Okay, yeah, old school. Is there a mobile app? Because we live mobile now,
I do
right?
not know.
Uh-huh. See, don't be bringing up stuff if all right. Agora post is the truth, but man, Agora post is expensive for what you get. So I won't even. I know folks over there, so I'm not going to talk bad about them. All right. Again, this is what this is all about: giving people options. We're not steering folks necessarily to go into a particular tool's direction, but giving people options. I always say when I do a consulting call, like, I like to give people three options, right? Kind of a good, better, and the best, and then let the individual go out and find the one that meets their needs most effectively, right? Just because I
Hmm.
use the script, I we may have showed you a couple of others, right? We may have talked about some other platforms that do similar, but at the end of the day, there's a good, better, and there's a best, and we can't make
There's
no.
also
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, there's also I would say there's also, I'm about time, right?
Hmm.
Because you can get more money, you can get more stuff. You can't get more time, and your family can't get another one of you. So there is a diminishing return on investment of time when you continually switch from this app to that app to the other app, and you're using so many and you don't learn how to use as much as possible of one app. And drafts is old as I don't know how many years old it is. Old. And a lot of people don't know about it. But the reason I stick with it is I've got years of automated data, moving my data out of that into other places. I've got Apple shortcut scripts tied to it. I've got JavaScripts tied to it. So it's automating a lot of data movement, and I don't have to redo that. It's done. It works. I know it works. It's stable. If you just see that app as I'm going to write a few notes here and there, then yeah, it's probably not worth it. Use Apple Notes or Google Keep or whatever. But for me, it's not, it's the quick data capture, but it's also how I can automate getting stuff moved to different places. Getting those same words moved to different places, whether it's email or Google Drive or a markdown file or whatever.
Hmm.
And
It all comes
though
back
that's
to
important.
it all comes back to time, huh?
It comes back to time, right? Can I do in another app what I do in Evernote? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But guess what? I've got years of workflows built up in there, and I can move stuff around quickly, and I don't have to spend any more time learning anything or figuring it out. And I know where my content is, right? So I see you over there, James
Okay,
Phillips.
I'm just quietly flexing on
I'm
you.
I'm I'm quietly ignoring you. Just
This is,
saying.
this is an inside joke, Greg. I don't even know if you aware of this. So, Florence talks about 1440 all the time, right? How many
Yep.
minutes that there are in the day? I said, child, you need to make some merch that says this.
And
I said,
he made
I
it.
said it once. I said it a couple times, and then I said, look, okay, I'm gonna mess around, and I
I'm
did
good.
mess around.
I'm good with you doing that. Um, and so similarly, when I say using Descript later, it's not because frankly, transparently, I have Opus, I have Menvo, I have what's the other one I have? There's another one I have. I use Descript
Yeah,
and I settled on I'm using this, I'm sticking with it, I'm learning it. I will incrementally improve. I start ugly and iterate.
yeah,
And that's where I'm going to land. Not because I don't have others and don't have access to others. I do.
yeah,
But it goes back to what is the most effective use of my time to get the result?
yeah,
Yeah. Sometimes you have to try different tools to figure out the one that's best for you. So,
Mhm.
like,
Absolutely.
sometimes like I what I'll tell you this for the streaming platforms, I have basically purchased them all the ones that came through AppSumo I got, and I had to figure out which ones work for me, which one worked the absolutely best for me. And even though I may like some or like some of the features of one, does it work for me? And so sometimes you have to try different things to figure out what's the one that's going to work for you so that you can save the most amount of time, get stuff done in an efficient manner, because there's always going to be new tools, new updates, new things to try, and it will take a lot of your time learning how to use some tool because somebody or someone you respect says it's cool. At the end of the day, are you getting everything you need to get done in a time efficient manner that works for you? So that's what it's about.
Absolutely. I don't know why I can't
Hmm.
think of the name of this other app. I can see his face. I can't think of the name of the app right
Okay.
now.
Well, I'll tell you.
Um,
I'll go down this rabbit hole. Why are you thinking about that? And folks, again, we see you from everywhere. If you got questions, type them in. Appreciate everyone for the comments thus far. Erica says she remembers Netscape. See, we flashing back. She remembers some
I
of that stuff.
remember Netscape.
Yeah.
I remember
Um,
Netscape.
Well, do y'all remember the first one of the first social networks, Black Planet?
listen, I may still have my yeah.
Do you still
All right, right. Yeah, no, okay. We're not gonna go down that we had
let's
your little
not do that.
music playing in the
Let's not do that.
background and everything. Okay. Um,
Behave.
I'm trying to. I'm trying. I'm considering using something other than Content Fries. Content Fries, haven't heard about that one in a long time, but yeah, I mean that one's been around. Here's my thing, and this is might be controversial because I know we all kind of many of us came up in these LTD streets. Um, I make a statement. I stole a statement from Gina Bianchini, who's the founder of Mighty Networks, and it's people pay attention to what they pay for. I would much rather pay a continual subscription to a platform. I know we all want to save money. It's tight out here. You know, bread is expensive, eggs is expensive. All this stuff is jumping off in the world right now. But listen, when it comes to building a business and being strategic, I would much rather pay for the because I'm in technology as well. I would much rather pay for the development and the continual development and upkeep of a platform as opposed to just always hitting them with one time. Here's 199 and I no longer pay you for it, right? Because all of the companies that do that and only offer a free lifetime deal, I don't see a lot of longevity. And we can sit here and we can go through a lot of companies that we've spent a lot of money on some of these SaaS platforms and they're gone now. They started out great, they look great, we've all spent a lot of money, we put a lot of energy in them, but I have never had a problem with Ecamm. I've never had a problem with Descript. Never had a problem
Here's
with
the
Notion for me. Right. So, but hold on, this is where I'm going. Right. So
mm,
my tech stack has been diminished in terms of a whole lot of things. Part of what my role is as a strategist, as a coach, whatever adjective you want to use, is to evaluate all of those platforms. So I will do that. I will spend all the time looking at all those, so then I can give people three options for which one works best for them. But for me and what I do, for me in this house. What we gonna do is we're gonna use tried and true platforms that work, that I know they have engineering effort behind it, that they have quality control behind it, that they have some funding, that they have a stability behind them to where I know that they're gonna still be around as I continue to grow and iterate and scale. So those are two of the platforms that I definitely use, or two or three: Ecamm, Descript, and I am paying full time for Alfana as well after me and Sebastian had our conversation. Interestingly enough, on the AI side, and we can get into that as well but I'm gonna let you say what you wanted to say, Florence. I've actually moved from the traditional or the more common platforms. I ended my pro subscription to ChatGPT. I ended my pro subscription to Perplexity, even though Perplexity is dope. But I'm using another tool. Shouts out to Tanya in the room. I'm using Manus, Manus. Oh my God. I've got Manus
Ooh,
doing some things. Y'all,
boy.
I got this tool. I got this platform that aggregates and does deep thinking that has built an entire workflow for what I want to do, not just 2026, but I actually looked at 2027. That's long term for me. Right. So short and mid is 6 and 9 months, but then I did a long term. But again, I'm not I'm beating to my own drum. Kind of like Florence was saying, we're beating to our own drum and finding the tools that matter. There's a couple of other things that I've got in my stack as well. So from a community perspective, I already hinted and I said Mighty Networks. I'm invested with that company because again, I believe in the leadership. I believe in the platform. I believe in what they've built and what they're building. So yeah, I'm gonna put my dollars where it makes sense. So Mighty Networks is the platform that I'm using for my community. Nobody's paying for Substack. Substack again just went down in the middle of the stream. I got a problem with that. I'm calling y'all out. But so what I may do is actually pivot to somewhere else that has been again, and I've already got them in mind. I got the screen up over here as well. So I may pivot everything from Substack, but it will be non-disruptive to my users and my subscribers, but to a platform that, yeah, I'll be paying for every month that has that long track record. Yes, I do pay for it, but from a feature integration, open API perspective, that matters to me as well. So I don't have to build a whole bunch of bolt-on modularized tools and accesses. I don't have to use Zapier. God, I hate. No, I'm never gonna get a brand deal with some of these companies. I know because I'm out here telling this, but
Mm.
that's where my mentality is, and that's why y'all come to this stream. So because we gonna tell it like a TI is. So Florence Donald, you said something before I started just ratting and talking bad about all these companies. Okay, let's go.
no, you actually shored up the comment that I made. And for each person it's going to be different. And the goals that the person has.
Mm.
If your goal, for example, and I'm not thinking of any particular person, just some approaches. If your goal is longevity, you're going to take one approach. If your goal is, I want to be YouTube famous or Instagram famous or Facebook famous or whoever famous, you're going to take a different approach. If your goal is to build your network, you're going to take yet a different approach. You're building your network may be for very different reasons than what we is, and all of it works. I'll give you an example of how content creation helped me in eCam specifically in the last 2 weeks. I had an opportunity to remote produce a video for an organization that's global. And when I gave the ISO file, both video and audio, to the editor, gave the editing instructions to the editor, normally they're like, oh, the editors are going to take 3 weeks to turn it around. They turned it around in a day. They were like, we have never had anyone give us what we need exactly the way we need it, and the quality is good.
Yeah. Wow.
I would have never learned those skills. So that wasn't what I was looking for, but I'm just saying, be cognizant. You don't have to learn everything. I've tried EVMux and StreamYard and this and that and the other thing. Stick with Ecamm because I'm going to pretty much be here where you're seeing me now almost all the time when I'm live, especially, or when I'm doing anything of substance to record a recorded video, pre-recorded video, and it works. I don't have to spend a lot of energy and effort to figure out what I'm doing. I've gone through that training ground. Why would I want to go to something else in the event that I run into a scenario that Ecamm doesn't serve my purpose? That's when I would look to change. But if it's serving my purpose,
Yeah.
then going looking to spend that time instead of using that time and that energy to build whatever is next, actually truly next for you. This is part of what I teach people in productivity. Don't learn a new tool when you haven't figured out your process, why you're learning two hard things at the same time and they're not going to work. Old Navy person here. You have to do it so much that you can't get it wrong, not that you know how to do it. So when you're tired and you're sleepy and the bell rings in the middle of the night, you can wake up and do what you need to do, and your brain is just, you learned it so well, you can just do it. That's the benefit of committing to a set of tools for specific workflows instead of jumping around.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're seeing you're nailing down what those are going to be for you and your operation. It's how you're going to get to operational efficiency. Yeah, and you have to do some investment. I promise you. You have to do some investment.
Yeah. And with that, you had mentioned, the lifetime deals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, as an entrepreneur, and as if you're investing in a lifetime deal and you want that company to survive and still have that product, like, you have to understand they have to make money after that lifetime deal goes over. They have to survive. So how can they survive if the money dries up, and they can't survive on just lifetime deals, right? That's very few companies can do that. And if you have saved some money with lifetime deals, and there's too many for you to, in my opinion, there's too many for you to take advantage of all of them. For me recently, I came across a couple tools. I was like, you know what? I really like that. And I learned that they were at one point had a lifetime deal and I missed out on it. I don't mind paying every single month now for a tool that I want, because I know I'm actually saving money with these other tools that I did catch the lifetime deal, and I actually feel better about knowing that there's most likely that company will survive because it has people paying for the service on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
So it's just something you have to consider about. Like, you can't think about just you. You can't be selfish. You be like, all right, if I like this thing, right, how is it going to survive? We all have to profit. We all have to, make
See,
it out, make it.
that's the different mentality that we're coming from, right? We're coming from that
Mm-hmm.
business perspective where we understand what it, the debits and the credits. Yeah, we
Mm-hmm.
want deals, we want promos, we want all that thing. But talk to me about your longevity and your revenue strategy after you're done here on AppSumo. Nothing wrong with AppSumo. Listen, they know me too, right? And Ecamm used to be on AppSumo when they first came out. Alfana was on AppSumo when they first came out. All transparency, those are two companies that I still pay for. I don't have a lifetime deal for. So I actually have told the Ecamm team, Katie, no, I'm not looking for any brand partnership relationship deals. I will just continue to be an affiliate, which is cool, but I want to continue to pay my annual dues to the company. And they come and due here in a couple of days because I just got the email from Ecamm. So, shouts out to them. I'm glad I'm on a good deal, but I'll just say that. Um, and there's some fantastic tools here, right? There are. I can pull down the products that I bought. I'm not going to put my business out in the streets like that again, but be smart with where you spend your money. Be smart with where you spend your time. Because again, you can spend all this time acquiring all the greatest, latest and greatest. And if you don't read the manual, kind of like Florence was kind of, I'm just using some different words. If you don't read the manual, if you don't understand what it is that you got in your toolbox, you're not going to know which tool to pull out.
Right.
Florence, bring this plane in. Florence, bring this plane in.
I the way I would say it is figure out today, not tomorrow,
Mm,
not next week, not after you laid out with your turkey. Today, figure out a workflow that you need to fix the friction with. And then systematically say, what do I need this to do? What is the problem I'm solving? Now, once you do that, look at what you already have. And can you solve the problem, the friction with tools that you have already?
yeah.
Give the solution at least a month before you hop to something else, using it day in, tweaking your workflow, using those tools, whether it's one, two, three, or four. Don't continue to hop around because you're not making progress.
Yeah.
You are just
Frustrating.
simply paddling in the same place, going nowhere fast.
Yeah.
So that's the way I would end it. I started with saying, I solved this friction for me in my workflow. I'm looking at the calendar right now. I know everything that's coming up over the next few months.
That's got to
I
be
can see
so.
it.
That's got to be so freeing, though, right? Just to be able to have that weight off of the shoulders. To be able to say,
Mhm.
I've planned, and I can approach each new day, each new week, each new month, and know what I want to get done. It's not. I'm
Mhm.
not just guessing anymore, right? They're not just plans; they're actually goals because you got them written down. All right.
Yeah.
Tora's in the building. Appreciate you for joining us. Okay, hey, Greg, bring the plane in because Florence Donald done told us what to do. I'm over here looking at Zoom docs off camera right now. I'm already subscribing. They may get some more usage, but go ahead and bring us
Yeah,
home,
man.
brother.
All right, I got two things. Number one, just like Florence said, some of the tools we have, we only scratch the surface.
Mm,
Like, if you really start to dig deeper into the things you have, Zoom, for example, Zoom has Zoom Marketplace. There's a whole lot of things you can add on to
mm,
your existing Zoom. I'm talking about hundreds of things that you've never even thought about or thought about. Like, that marketplace is deep. Google Apps, Google Workspace is what they call it now. They have a marketplace too. So it's like, when it comes to the tools you already have, you could do so many things if you just dive deep and learn the tools you already have. Most people don't even realize it. From just even Microsoft Word, you can make posters and really cool things inside of Microsoft Word if you were to take the time to learn it. So a lot of times we only scratch the surface. We start looking for new tools, and the tools you already have can do way more than you anticipate if you start to learn it. And the last thing I will say is, listen, when it comes to Black Friday and AppSumo deals, if you don't have a specific need to use something in the next 7 days, you might as well just pass on it, because when it comes to AppSumo
Be careful out in these
and
streets.
lifetime deals, it's usually about 2 in 10 that work out. So if you can buy 10 things, 2 of them will probably be good for you and save you money and really work. The other 8, not so much. So unless you're, you just need to know from someone who has been an AppSumo addict and has
Mm-hmm.
bought a lot of things, I know it's about 2 in 10 that really work for you. So if you don't have a plan to use it in the next 7 days, just recognize that it's FOMO, and it's okay to miss out sometimes, because 9 times out of 10 there's going to be something else very similar or something else even better coming along in the future. They just keep coming out with it. You're not going to miss out. You just need to be ready when it's the time for you to get a specific tool.
That right there is the statement that you will not hear on 95% of the other YouTube channels, right? Just again, above the noise, just real talk. And again, we could be setting ourselves up for blacklisting from having some of those brand deals or having some of those relationships or whatever, but hopefully not. Hopefully these organizations will see that we are being truthful and being honest, because we in these streets, right? We've done it. We've been burned. We saw a couple that did work. We saw a lot that didn't work, and we're the folks in my inner circle know I will tell a company when their baby's ugly. And I've told a lot of companies, unfortunately, that their babies look kind of ugly, not doesn't look right, and it's been taken in different directions in different ways with the different companies. But again, we hopefully folks are seeing that we're being transparent, we're being open, we're bringing true unbiased recommendations to you as it relates to technology, your technology stack for solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, and digital creators. That's all we're doing. We're not here pushing anything. We're not here preaching anything. We're giving you the options. I'm gonna put all of these tools, platforms, software, and hardware in the description so you guys can see it. You can go take a look at it for yourself. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know how it works for you. If Zoom Docs works for you, cool. If Co-Scheduler works for you, cool. If I don't know, we talked about a gang up, but I got him. I got him over here transcribing. So I mean, that's all, it's all going through Descript in about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna get the full. I'm done, y'all. Okay, listen. But it's also going to go through Notebook LM. Shouts out to Erica over there for telling me some things early on about how to leverage Notebook LM. So we've got tools that work, that do what they do, and they're doing pretty well. Y'all go out and do your own research. Listen, if you found value in this conversation, let me know. If you did not find value in this conversation, still let me know, because that's how we're going to get better. We will be back. Maybe no, next Thursday. We gonna be eating. So we won't be back next Thursday, but we'll be back after that. If y'all celebrate, y'all have a good holiday, and we will see you soon. Like, subscribe, do all the things. We out.